Hey bees, I'm Marie from Humblebee and Me, and today we are blending up a bottle of shimmery, silky, sudsy, candlelight creamy hand wash. So not only does this make a beautiful, gentle hand wash, but it is also a great body wash, and I've even had some pretty good results using it as shampoo. So it's a very versatile, sudsy substance. I had a lot of fun developing this formulation. I created at least half a dozen different iterations of it, playing with different surfactants and viscosities and procedures. And as I'm filming this, I now have quite a nice sort of parade of different bottles of hand wash at my bathroom sink to choose from every time I wash my hands. I experimented with several different primary surfactants for this formulation and ended up settling on sodium cocoyl isethionate. Sodium cocoyl isethionate is a solid, gentle, anionic surfactant. It's a bit of a pain in the backside to incorporate into liquid formulations, but after I tried a couple different alternatives, I just kept coming back to the sodium cocoyl isethionate. I just love the creamy lather and how gentle it is. And yeah, I decided that it's worth the added effort for this formulation. I've rounded out our surfactant blend with a bit of non-ionic decyl glucoside and amphoteric Cocamidopropyl Betaine. This candlelight theme is all about rich, creamy, warm indulgence. So the creaminess in this formulation comes from two places. So the first creamy thing is glycol distearate, which is what opacifies the hand wash and makes it sort of appear aesthetically creamy. If you don't have glycol distearate, I have discussed alternatives for it in the Humblebee and Me encyclopedia entry for it, so make sure you are checking that out. The second creamy thing is a refatting ingredient called Lamesoft PO65, which is a blend of cocoa glucoside and glyceryl oleate. Glyceryl oleate is that refatting ingredient, and it helps make sure that this hand wash doesn't leave your skin feeling too clean, all kind of squeaky and ugh. For scent, I chose the same fragrance oil that I used in the candlelight soap, which is Brambleberry's Kentucky Bourbon. If you don't have that particular fragrance oil, you can definitely use a different fragrance oil that makes you think of warm, glowy, indulgent goodness. Just make sure you are using it within the allowable usage rates for a wash-off product. There's more information on this in the partner blog post linked in the description box below this video. That is definitely enough preamble. Please read the blog post for more information, and let's get started. We'll begin by combining our vegetable glycerin and glycol distearate. I'm just going to pop the glycol distearate in here. So this is 24 grams of vegetable glycerin and 3 grams glycol distearate. And now I'm going to heat this beaker to melt everything through. So I'm just going to go put this right directly on my stovetop over very low heat until all the little flakes of glycol distearate have melted. Once the glycol distearate has melted, we're going to add our surfactants. So in this small dish, I have 7.2 grams of finely powdered sodium cocoyl isethionate. So you can see that it is a very fine powder. If yours is in bigger chunks or bits, you can send it through your DIY only coffee grinder. Just make sure you are wearing a well-fitting dust mask to do that, as that'll really kick up a surfactant-y dust cloud, and you don't want to inhale that. In here I have 4.8 grams of decyl glucoside. This is 12 grams of Cocamidopropyl Betaine, and this is 2.4 grams of Lamesoft PO65, which is a blend of cocoa glucoside and glyceryl oleate. Before we proceed, I'm going to pop my dust mask on, and then we'll add the surfactants one at a time, whisking until smooth between additions. So up next, we need to heat this again until it is clear. It can be really tempting at this phase to sort of assume that the sodium cocoyl isethionate has dissolved enough or will dissolve enough that more heat is not required. I did try that, and it resulted in a noticeably kind of gritty hand wash. So you are going to need to heat this again. Before we continue, I'm going to pop this on the scale and weigh it, and note that weight so that I can replace any water lost to evaporation during heating, because there is a water content in those liquid surfactants. I'll also be heating a beaker of water alongside our surfactant mixture so that we have some nice hot water to add to our formulation when we require it. Once the body of the surfactant mixture has gone clear, we are good to proceed. So I'm going to pop that back on our scale and add some of the hot beaker water to bring that back up to what it was before, and then tare and add the amount of water called for in the formulation, which is 63 grams. Just gently stir in here. Our next step is letting the hand wash cool or cooling it down. I'm going to use an ice bath because it is quite a lot faster. You do want to be occasionally stirring this as it cools, just to make sure everything comes together nicely. Up next, we are going to add our thickener. So for this formulation, I'm using liquid Crothix. We'll need 2.4 grams. So after you kind of gently stir in the Crothix, you want to give it some time. It's been about 20 minutes, and this has thickened up a lot. So if you are working, kind of very closely monitoring things and just working in a short period of time, you might be thinking that you definitely need more Crothix. You can see that once things shake out and settle down, you definitely don't. So yeah, just be patient there. Our last step is adding our cool down phase, which is just 3 ingredients. So for our preservative, we're using liquid Germall Plus, and you'll need 0.6 grams of this. For color, I'm using a bit of this doubloon gold mica from Humblebee. This was a gift. You'll need 0.24 grams. And our last ingredient is our fragrance. So I'm using Kentucky bourbon from Brambleberry, but you could use any fragrance that you have on hand that just feels warm and cozy and indulgent to you. So we'll need 0.36 grams of fragrance, which translates to 0.3%. So make sure whatever you're using, you are taking a look at the IFRA documentation provided by your supplier and ensuring that 0.3% is within the allowable range for a rinse-off product. Then we'll stir that all together. Make sure you're being relatively gentle so you're not kicking up a bunch of bubbles. Check that out. Look how beautiful that consistency is. Oh, just like gorgeous silky honey. So to package this hand wash, I recommend using some sort of a pump top bottle. This is a 4 ounce or 120 milliliter one from Voyager with a pump cap. This also makes a gorgeous body wash. So if you want to use it as a body wash, you can always take a pump top bottle into the shower with you, or you could use a tottle. But in we go. Up next, I'm going to label the hand wash. And we'll finish off with a demonstration. So this is a older batch that I made for the blog post so that I can leave the one that we just made all sealed and beautiful and ready for gift giving. You can see absolutely gorgeous lather there. Noticeable but fairly soft fragrance, and leaves the hands feeling lovely. And that's that. We just made a beautiful bottle of candlelight creamy hand wash that also works beautifully as body wash. It's shimmery, it's gentle, it smells wonderfully warm and cozy, and it's just the thing for all your wintry hand washing needs. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe, and please remember to read that full partner blog post linked in the description box below this video. The partner blog posts always hold a ton of extra information. Everything is written out. We've got information on substitutions, scaling, shelf life, links to places to buy all the ingredients, just heaps of extra information. So definitely worth a click and a read. And thank you so very much, and I'll see you next time.